Hey, so in this video, I'm going to tell you about 9 things that are seemingly innocent. Duh, they're actually very convenient, but in the long run, they are not very good for us. And this is the list that I created, but it's all based on science behind what actually makes people happy. Regular office desks. So people who sit about 8 hours a day are at the same risk of dying as people who are obese or are smoking. So I guess you can imagine how bad sitting is for us. And it's not the sitting itself that's bad, but it's lack of moving. In the 1960s, about half of the Americans had active jobs. But in 2022, it's less than 20%. There are a lot of Americans that sit 15 hours a day. And that is really bad for us. So if you have a sitting job, consider getting a standing desk. And I'm not advertising for the company. I just got one myself. It will be put together soon, and if it will, I'll show you. I actually also got an under the desk treadmill that's coming. So hopefully soon I can work at my computer and walk at the same time. You should try it too. And another thing is Amazon Prime. I know, it's like magic. It's like a fairy. You think of something and then it's on your doorstep 2 days later. It's amazing. I'm the first one to use it and appreciate this brilliant business idea. But let's admit to ourselves, how often do we actually need something in 2 days? And how often do we just think of something like, oh, yogurt maker or shark-shaped slippers or 278 other items that I ordered from Amazon, but I didn't really use because I didn't need them, because it was an impulse buy. Not to mention about the strain it has on our finances. So anyway, I have a little tip for you, because this is what I do right now. If I think that I definitely need something from Amazon, and don't we all need things, right? I will just put it in a cart and keep it there until the 15th of the month. And on the 15th of each month, I go through my cart and I decide what I actually definitely need and what was just an impulse click. And usually 70% of that stuff gets deleted, and I save about 70% on my Amazon bill too. Another thing are Instagram filters. And I don't mean the filters that you are using, because of course they make you feel better. But imagine that everyone is using these Instagram filters, and now all of a sudden you're scrolling and scrolling and you look at these beautiful people, which distorts your perception of reality. And then you look in the mirror and that doesn't make you very happy. So I don't think we can banish the Instagram filters. They are here to stay. But at the same time, how do we detach ourselves from seeing life through these filters? Next thing are automatic checkouts and the ATMs. And I know they are super convenient, but hear me out here. So 20 years ago, we used to get out of the house and run our errands, right? And on average, we may have 3, 4, or 5 social interactions. Science says that interacting with other people contributes to your happiness, even if they are strangers, and even if this is sort of like a small talk, but it's some kind of human connection. And what happens now? Most of our chores can be done over the phone or online without interacting with anyone. And right now it may feel completely fine and convenient, but in the long run, we are just becoming more lonely, more disconnected, and more depressed because we don't have these random interactions with other humans. Another thing is watching these bingeable shows. And you know what shows I mean, right? The ones that when you watch and in the last 5 minutes something huge happens and then they leave you hanging. Actually, they don't leave you hanging, because you can play another episode and then that happens again and again, and you find yourself 4 hours later. Well, I shouldn't be speaking for you. I should be speaking for myself. So I find myself 4 hours later feeling kind of disappointed on myself. I'm never like, oh my God, this was a great day. I'm so energized and ready to tackle my life. No, it's always like, why did I just waste 5 hours of my day? Like an alcoholic can't have just one beer and then, call it a day. I can't have just one episode of my favorite show and go to sleep. So I just stopped watching Netflix about a month ago, completely, because I just can't stop myself from binging. I guess that's why I have time to record these videos. There are a bunch of articles that link depression, anxiety, loneliness to binge watching. Let's have a limit on these amazing shows. By the way, thank you for all the likes and subscriptions to my channel. Another thing is dating apps. They may seem like such an amazing way to meet someone. I actually met my husband 10 years ago on eHarmony, and we've been pretty happy ever since. But right now, basically every single person that I know hates dating apps. And why is that and what happened? So there are three very quick reasons why dating apps in the long run are making us miserable. A, because they are making us unable to connect with real people in real life spontaneously. Because now dating moved to the apps, and sometimes you assume that you can't just come up to a person and start stalking because, well, you don't know if they're single, you don't know if they're dating. Another thing is the decision fatigue. Because you're on a dating app and you just keep scrolling and scrolling and you see hundreds of people, at the end you don't even know which person to choose, and you end up not going out with anyone, and then you just remain single. And the third reason is that dating apps may make us think that the grass is always greener. So even if we meet someone and we are hanging out with them and dating, we will always be wondering like, oh my god, there are like 700 other people I could be dating here in my pocket. So we never get 100% invested. And this is the funny, sad paradox of dating apps that should be very helpful, but they often aren't. Another thing is buying stuff in bulk. And that's not necessarily our fault. It's just that certain things you almost can't buy just one. For example, just a while ago, I wanted to buy a comb. Here's an example on Amazon. One costs $6, but three similar ones cost $7, and four different ones cost $8. So which one do you pick? It's very hard to buy just one thing if you know that for $1 extra you can get 3 more things, even if you don't need them. And then you end up with all this stuff cluttering your drawers, your houses. You have to manage it. All this stuff in your house doesn't really make you happy. This is the one that you guys may disagree, but I feel strongly about. It's party favors. I really don't know when it became a thing that guests are coming to someone's birthday and actually are getting a gift. Oh, great, here is an eraser. Well, the only people that may actually truly be excited about party favors may be little children, and I have 2 little kids, and yes, they get excited. They like to get little buggy with some goodies in it. But you know what? Next day, or actually sometimes a few hours later, they just forget. And sometimes I test it and I hide the goodie bag and I wait if they ask about them, and they never do. I don't know. I just feel like this is a lot of unnecessary stuff that gets purchased and packed and carried and then thrown away to the trash. So let's just be a little kinder to our planet. And the last thing is social media notifications. So if you don't have them disabled and you actually react to every single time someone comments or likes or posts something under your post, then that's not very good for your mental health. Because A, you're getting distracted from whatever you are doing. B, you are often getting pulled away from the time that you're actually spending with your loved ones. Science actually proves that even when you have your phone in sight, the social connections that you are building with other people, let's say you're at dinner and your phone is sitting on the table, these social connections are more shallow and less meaningful. So we should all put our phones away and just use them at our convenience, and not whenever someone comments on your photo. If you like this video, I recommend that you watch this one next about 10 things that you can do to be a little bit happier.